All right, so I guess Andrew's out of jail, and he went to the border again to meet this little rally. They titled it "Defend the Border Convoy." Let's see.
You know how they're saying that the Holocaust didn't even happen? It happened, and it's going to happen again if we keep this up.
They're getting free stuff.
I guess
our own veterans and homeless.
it's gonna happen again. That's how bad it is.
Others are getting hotels.
Here in America,
That's
we
what she
only
thinks.
have Americans. We don't need to be a country dominated by foreign illegal immigrants.
Where you from, man?
He don't even.
They believe, yeah.
I was about to say he don't even sound American. Like, bro, you're from Brazil.
Coming over for a better life.
Hey,
There's
what?
no breaking
You're from
our laws.
Brazil.
Sorry, I don't want you here.
Yeah, we need it to stop.
Good morning, everybody.
I guess
Happy to
maybe
say
he was
we're
born
out of
here or
jail.
something.
Got a
But
new
even still,
windscreen
like,
for the
what?
microphone. As you can see, we have 2 nice new cameras, and I'm here because I've been hearing a lot about a civil war.
Are we on the brink of another civil war?
A war on our southern border, the Texas border.
Civil war this, civil war that.
Yeah, he in the
we're
same
here
exact
on
spot
the front
Tyler was
lines
in.
of the battleground, Shelby Park in Eagle Pass, Texas. And as you can see, we got some National Guard troops right here. Got the Army out here with Dracos, Dumpers, and Shiesties. And then beyond that is the Rio Grande, aka the border to Mexico. Now this all began, if I'm not mistaken, because of some razor wire.
Supreme Court decision will allow Border Patrol agents.
And they climbing through razor wire, bro. I know that
Biden
shit.
doesn't want the razor wire.
Right,
Abbott wants
hella
the razor
cuts on his
wire.
leg,
You got
bro.
these guys.
The hell?
And these guys are members of the Texas State Guard, aka the T-Patchers, who were basically sent by Governor Abbott
The
to
T.
secure the park and to stop Border Patrol, who operates under federal authority, from taking down the razor wire.
Dracos, Dumpers, and Shiesties.
Anyways, while this ongoing feud between federal and state forces is quite fascinating, it's not why we traveled back to Eagle Pass. We came back because we heard through the grapevine that 70,000 truckers,
700,000 vehicles?
There will be a Take Our Border Back multi-day trucker convoy from Take Our Border Back.
That's the
Bro, what?
prediction here.
700,000 vehicles, who refer to themselves
700,000?
as God's Army, were headed there to show solidarity with Texas.
The Take Our Border Back convoy.
Bro, he must have been there at the
is
same
headed
exact
there
time
for a
Tyler
rally
was there,
planned
bro.
For Saturday.
So naturally,
Tyler
we
got
showed
his
up
video
at
off
Shelby
first.
Park on February 3rd, bright and early, hoping to get some action. However, there were only a couple patriots there. Here's what they had to say.
Guys, what are we thinking?
I think it's important we protect our border. I think it's important we protect the U.S. citizens.
Yeah, we're worried about our safety.
The question is the razor wire really
Or about safety. They probably from fucking
I don't know. I never tried to cross it.
Nevada. What?
It would deter me.
You ever been a teenager and hop a barbed
Don't
wire
even live
fence
near
up
the
to
border.
escape the cops after leaving a house party or something?
No, never have.
I have, and apparently you just put cardboard on the top of the barbed wire. But that's barbed wire. I think razor wires are more
I
sinister.
think it's a little more.
Electric fence? Maybe that would be better?
I mean, if you got a problem with
Carpet,
immigration policy, then fix
cardboard?
it. But you don't fix it by just opening up the borders and letting people walk in. You got to have a plan. What are you going to do with all these people when they come in, right? You got to have a plan for these people. You can't just let them walk in and then what? They live under bridges and they live on the street. That's no better life. I mean, if you want to give them a better life, have a plan. Have a plan for when they come in, right?
Yeah.
My goal with this
At least he's
segment
speaking
is
a
not
little
to
bit.
rage,
At least
but
he's
rather
speaking
to reach
facts.
common ground with the people in the God's Army convoy
That's
who,
actually
like
facts what he
me,
said.
are scared about the future of this country and willing to travel to Eagle Pass to see what's going on. And in my case, even translate the entire episode into Spanish to make the content more digestible to a Latin American audience.
You see the hat he got on? You know what he doing, bro. You know what he doing. He got hit on those glasses too. Yeah,
Nombre es Andrew Callahan y estás mirando Canal 5.
Canal 5, una programa de los Estados Unidos originalmente en inglés.
Hoy estamos en Eagle Pass. Puedes mirar, México está aquí. Oímos sobre una guerra civil. ¿Qué pasamos con la guerra civil? Vamos a preguntarle a la gente.
Creo que es importante que protejamos nuestra frontera.
Sí, es un problema de seguridad.
Mira, tenemos el army aquí con Dracos, armas y shiesties. If you want to check this out, go to our channel.
This nigga's
Canal
trolling me.
5.
Y'all just
already
watched his
said
ad.
something I agreed with, which is that our country does not have
I think I got finessed by an ad and
this
didn't even
mass
notice.
influx of undocumented migrants, and that if President Biden truly wants to support these people, he ought to make the path to citizenship an easier process.
You feel like they have an unrealistic expectation of what life's going to be like here?
I don't think it's unreal.
I think they're expecting to come here and get a lot of stuff for free, and that's exactly what they're getting, is a lot of stuff for free. And we've got veterans that are homeless. I'd much rather donate to a veteran than to see my tax dollars going to this.
So do you guys...
I mean, they want to work too, you know. They want to work a little bit, you know. They want a job, bro. They trying to get away from the
I
cartel,
just
bro.
feel like the VA
and
benefits
the
are
more
seriously
wars
behind.
and stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not a vet, but I know a lot of vets, and all they talk about is the forever line to get service from the VA. So
Damn.
Yeah, because I see a lot of, like, obviously homeless veterans, but I always wasn't sure if they were actually homeless or if that was just a panhandling strategy.
that could be.
Nah.
I'm sure
Alright,
there's
why
some of
Andrew?
that.
That's bro.
And there's
Low key, though, I be thinking that same exact thing, though. Like, because have you ever seen those videos where like a dude, like a fake homeless dude, is to be out there and they've been like, yeah, he have a cardboard sign, but he walk into his car or something. He walk into like a luxury car. You like, bro, what?
various
I be
reasons
thinking that
why
same exact
people are
thing.
homeless. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do to the population. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't want to conform, right? They're going to want to be homeless just because that's the way they are.
Hey, well, thank you guys so much for the interview. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for your time. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. What do you think about state sovereignty, sir?
It's a constitutional thing. I mean, if the government's not going to take care of us and secure our borders, states have the right to be able to do it. And we were both there in D.C. for January 6th.
What do you think is the biggest danger posed by
They was both there January 6th. Oh man.
illegal migration?
The economy is one, but the
So they took over
and the crime that's
the Capitol.
taking place is atrocious.
A group of 5 men have been arrested, accused of attacking a
And basically
group of
nothing
New York
happened to
City
them.
police officers.
According to the New York Post, those who were arrested and charged are migrants who were then released without bail.
Elderly
Attacking
are
officers
totally
is
afraid.
crazy, though.
This is not what our country is.
How can we be so sure about that?
I couldn't hear you.
How can we be so sure about that?
About what? I love my wife.
I love my husband. He's up covered.
After 27 years of hanging together, I want another 27 and work on it.
What do you think's the main factor that's kept you guys together for so long?
Communication, hashing problems out.
So whenever you guys kind of bump heads, you always talk it out?
27 years, then they must have met when they was 60. 27 years. They both look like they're 98.
Spoon. Whoever has a spoon gets to talk first.
Oh, so you actually regulate talking time?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great way, and in this way you have to pair it back what the other person's feeling.
And listening to your spouse, and just you quiet when they're talking, and he'll quiet when you're talking, and not be bumping heads to each other.
Well, I hope to have a wife one day too. Thank you so much, and I wish you guys infinite more years of marriage.
That dusty ass flag.
After interviewing the happy couple, I started to get a bit discouraged. The news said there would be 700,000 people here, but there were probably only 25.
They did say it was
In fact,
a war
more
happening, though.
journalists
Like, what?
than there were patriots. Surely this couldn't be the end point of God's Army's convoy. Then, from out of nowhere, a red-haired patriot told me the convoy meetup spot had moved to a secret location north of town.
Trucks are not coming this way from the convoy.
How come?
Because we are not engaging in anybody coming across the border. It's simply a
We're not
exercise
engaging
of
in.
our First Amendment right to free speech
Bro, what?
and gather. So you may see individuals from the convoy down here, but you won't see any trucks.
How come?
Because we are exercising our First Amendment right to free speech. We don't need to be getting involved with anything that these gentlemen are doing.
What?
They're doing their job. They're trying to protect the United States and the unique conflict that we have down here. We don't need to be involved with that. What we need to do is stand up and exercise our First
she's
Amendment
chatting,
right to
bro.
free speech and gather.
So what's up?
Same shit, different day.
Hell yeah, thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too, love.
This all began reminding me
When
of
do
a
you-
different
little
convoy that I
hamburger
followed
look-
about 2 years ago,
saying,
for over
Dave
2,000
Single looking-
miles from Arizona to Washington, D.C. to show solidarity with the Canadian
Baconator looking
Freedom Convoy. To be honest, it was fun.
Oh, shit! Get down, Willie Brown! How you guys doing, man? Here's all our people right here.
Good to see you, man.
You too, Andy. How are you? Hey, good to see you.
And as we got
Ooh.
closer and closer to D.C., the vibes intensified, which made for some great content.
Are you an American? Do you believe in freedom? And are you freaking willing to fight for it? Yes!
But right as we almost arrived to Washington, D.C., the convoy organizers diverted all the truckers to a small campground in Hagerstown, Maryland. And the
he
next
actually found
morning,
out that
woke
the
everyone
fake
up
party.
to tell us we'd
Or
been
the-
infiltrated by outside
Never mind, it's an old
agitators.
video.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was concerns of reports that we were getting last night coming in here. There were concerns about people trying to come into the gate that didn't belong here, if you know what I mean. This is the people's convoy. This is for the people.
United we stand.
So how do you get in?
Glance, this may seem strange, but it's not. This is the typical playbook for the post-January 6th hyper-paranoid conservative right. And here's how it works. Someone in the community, in this case, Lee Dundas from Orange County, California, or in the case of the Defend the Border convoy, Vince Sabin from Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
From Cape Cod.
Nice. Will convince hundreds of their friends to essentially carpool to a political flashpoint and claim that God himself is guiding them.
What made you want to do this?
Bro, what?
God. It's good against evil. The battle's begun.
Then they'll create a website to drive as
The
many
battle has
donations
begun?
as humanly possible in a short period of time.
They're preparing for
How do you guys raise
war.
funds for this
Like
website?
what?
It's thepeoplesconvoy.org, and the good,
And they be
God-fearing,
donate money to them.
freedom-loving Americans who want to support them. They've been going there to donate.
Oh, they scheming. Nigga said God. Nah, he's scheming.
Through
1.7
insurrectionary
mil.
biblical language, they use the convoy as a tool to drive donations for some kind of holy war. Then, at the last second, right before they might do something potentially criminal, they claim to be infiltrated by the FBI or Antifa. And then they draft an entirely new plan.
Over the next several hours, lots of planning is going to be occurring behind the scenes.
In the case of the People's Convoy, they said the new plan was to do 45-mile-an-hour loops around the Beltway, which, for those unfamiliar, is a suburban circular interstate system that orbits the unincorporated suburbs around DC. So, to be honest, I expected the Defend the Border convoy to have a similar underwhelming finale, but still, I wanted to see what was up.
It's convoy time, bitch. Nah, that's kind of a weird vibe. It's convoy time, bro. It's convoy time, buddy. It's convoy time, fool.
Is he finally going undercover?
We were told the convoy was set to arrive in the backyard of a small Bible camp in about 2 hours, and were given the coordinates to a super remote location, pretty much out in the farmland.
They all out there though.
What's up, guys?
How he get deployed to find this, bro?
Pretty close to Eagle Pass, but not quite Eagle Pass. We're in a town called Quezmodo. Is it called Quezmodo? Is that how you pronounce it? Quemando. It's about 15 miles north of Eagle Pass, and we're here for a very special occasion. I don't know if you guys heard, but there's a convoy.
You got the cross out and
in about
everything.
1 hour. They're here to protect the border. They're here to save Americans, and they're here to.
Why do you have
God's
an
work.
AR?
And a rally.
You expecting it to get dangerous?
This park is called the Children's Ranch.
You ready to
but
shoot
it's not
someone?
for kids, it's for all ages. However, it is marketed primarily to Christian children as a place to get away from our increasingly divided society.
We will have videos including Jesus, pets, and adventures at home.
Ma'am, how are you doing?
Good.
What's going on?
Not much. Why, what's up?
When's the convoy supposed to get here?
In about an hour and a half or so.
Nice. What do you think's the importance of this convoy right now?
The support that Americans and people across the world, really, we've got Canada, UK, Australia, you've got people coming from all across the world to stand with Texas on its border crisis and the issues that we have here. We are a state that can stand on its own. We don't want that, though. We are a state that
You got
can
a
stand
cowboy
on its own.
hat. You got a cowboy hat on top of a regular hat. What it say? God, guns, and Trump. Oh, what? Where they be getting this merch from?
We want America
They all be having
together
exclusive
to
merch
help
on
us
and
stop
shit. Like
the
what?
crisis of illegal crossing of our southern border. They're not processing them appropriately. They're not vetting them. They're not doing the proper paperwork that needs to be done, and we're being overflowed with these people that we have no idea. A lot of them are here for good, for their families, to work, for a new life, for the American dream, but they're not vetted, not all of them. So not all of them, as we all
So
know,
all of them.
we've heard in the news,
I mean,
we've got
not every
several,
American's good.
terrorists that have come through the wall.
I get what they're saying, but not every American.
Watch list matches were arrested after crossing into the U.S. illegally.
There's a lot of,
we need it to stop.
You know how they're saying that the
criminals
Holocaust didn't even happen?
of
It
all
happened,
skin type.
And it's going to happen again if we keep this up. President Dementia and Quid Pro Joe and Crackhead Hunter. He's got to go.
I seen this old lady in Tyler's video, bro.
Nations, stealing, cheating,
They got a whole album.
lying implications. You're written.
This is an original song?
Sight.
I love it.
Government is ran by a bunch of crooks using the working
This
man's
is ass.
books. Following the money. Should it be hard?
He feeling that though. He feeling it.
Pockets for their waste yard.
Right now, a group with the intention of stopping migrants from entering
He thought,
the
hey,
US
that one old dude
exit
thought that shit
border
was
towns
planes though. That shit was
including one
ass.
near Eagle Pass.
As the sun began to shine, the trucks
Look at these, bro. Confederates. I don't even know what are these flags, bro. Like what? A lot of people the Confederate. Is that Confederate mixed with an American?
began.
Age, judgment, or cure? What? What'd that say? They
arriving. And
they're
though
here
their
twacking,
numbers
bro.
were few, everyone was eager to talk.
I'm sick and tired of our government. You know, Joe Biden he's part of the problem, but he's just the front man.
Here in this world, small and medium-sized business startups are getting into action as well.
That's all that is. He's a front man. Somebody else is running
That
the
nigga be at the front.
Is it
slumped.
Obama?
How do you think you've seen the country change in your lifetime?
Oh my God. You got time? Well, right now, I mean, number one, people don't even have manners anymore.
It's the latest viral craze. People yelling, put them in a coffin, then crossing their arms over
Trump
their
gonna face
chest
people
and
having
jumping
manners.
backwards onto the
Trump
hood of
don't
a
got
car,
manners.
denting it and causing hundreds of dollars
And
worth
he could
of
be
damage.
We've
and they could be
seen
in
the
front of
change in
a president podium
morals.
burping and shit.
There's only
Like,
two genders. If a man has a penis, you know very well he's a man. And I've got that out there too. Y'all can hear that one online.
If a person has a penis, you know very well he's a man. Period. If a person has a nutsack, he's a man. He can tuck it to conceal it, let it dangle and reveal it. If a person has a
bro, why she would be sitting here rapping?
This is my
What?
cousin Sandy.
Hey, great to meet you, Andrew. Good to meet you.
And they be in the car
Upon
bumping
further
that shit
research,
too
it
on full
appeared that these
blast.
two women were a part of a traveling rap
What?
duo called the Snapping Grannies.
Snapping
Thank you, Father,
grannies.
for these two ladies and what they do, Lord. As much as they travel, we just pray a hedge of protection that would go with them, Lord, and you keep them safe. We
The
thank you.
snapping grannies.
And Tucker Carlson. We call ourselves the Snapping Grannies because we like to snap out about whatever is on our mind. You don't have to agree with us, but we certainly hope to make you think.
And number one, this is God's creation. This is how we believe. God's
I
creation.
guess,
This
man.
is
Shout
His
out to
world,
the snapping
and
grannies.
We're all from God. That's what I believe. And so it's God's will.
That
that
shit
we've
ass
done.
though.
But we can't just sit back and take it. We've got to come out and voice it.
We came to glorify the name above every other name, and his name is Jesus. And he's the only one who can save us. And so, God, let peace,
They out there about to cry.
just cover. God, meet them right here, God. Right here, Lord.
Yeah, she
you
feeling
brought
it.
them here. They are here. They are at our gates. Lord, silence every enemy right now, God. Spirit of counsel, spirit of wisdom.
I wonder if these people, BLM, are racist thugs. I wonder if these people have ever talked to a migrant, or like, have they ever seen a migrant, or like, where do they get their information from?
No spirit but your Holy
Fuck off, we're
Spirit
full.
has any kind of power, God.
And again, his will is what is leading us. Ask me some more questions.
But I guess, I mean, what makes you believe that God's will, like, how does that play into what's going on at the border? Because, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people struggling coming into the country, and my thought is, okay, you know, maybe they just want a better life. Like,
They do, and I appreciate that. I know that. Back when I
Uh-huh.
was younger, I would go over into Mexico.
So why
meet
can't they
the
then,
most
if you appreciate
wonderful,
that?
Beautiful people.
What's their-
I mean,
what's
they're
the
great.
problem?
I love fishing over Mazatlan. The young people now, they're not.
So but she's taking vacations out of country and shit. They probably don't say nothing to her. Like,
seeing
what?
that. They don't see what's going on. They need to see a third world country and then know that the opportunities they've been given here have been wasted for most of them. Still being wasted.
You know, we don't mind them coming over here, but just do it legally,
Yeah. Legally.
not illegally.
Yeah, that's all we ask. We ask for that.
I guess the idea is because the citizenship process takes so long, a lot of people just figure, I don't want to wait 24 months to get a response on the application. Let me just get here however I can.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I understand
You
it.
don't blame them, but
they're
you out here for a
also
whole
being
rally.
Played. They're being played
I
by
don't get it.
government. They could care less about them really getting here.
So she-
except for they want them
she
to
just wanna-
vote.
she just want-
That's what they want. They want the vote.
She just
And
want
they are
Trump back in
paying
office,
just about
really. That's the
anything
whole
for it.
thing.
And you hear them. Oh, Biden, he's great.
He's a good president with so much help that he's given us.
And the people are tired of it.
I just think that we are very, very tired.
they getting
of it. I'm
brainwashed by the
tired of them
news, bro.
taking my Social Security money.
The news is
and
brainwashing
giving it
them.
to someone that's illegal. I would be better off to go to the border, cross over, come back as an illegal, and I would get money every month. I would get a place to live. They're going to pay for it. They're going to give me a free phone. They're going to give me an iBot. What do you call those machines?
She said an iBop. Oh man, iBop. Is that what she just said, bro?
Money every month. I would get a place to live. They're going to pay for it. They're going to give me a free phone. They're going to give me an iBot. What do you call those machines?
iBot. Yeah, bro, they be on the news too much, bro. They gotta
games on whatever.
Like a PlayStation Portable or a Game Boy Advance.
Yes.
Yes, but
Anyways, they'll give me that.
That's not what she was talking about, bro.
Maybe other stuff.
they're giving all the free things away, but what they're losing in giving that free away, they're giving up our freedom here. And that's what's wrong with it.
In this conversation, I saw a decent opportunity to learn something new. I realized that I had no idea what Social Security even was. But it appeared that the program's underfunding was the motivating factor behind their desire to be politically active regarding this issue.
So I'm not too familiar with Social Security programs. So after you retire, do you get a monthly check from the government?
If you work your ass off.
Yeah.
And it depends how much you've made through the years.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's like a sliding scale depending on how
I thought that
hard
was your
you work.
retirement.
And the last 5 years of your job is what you really get paid on,
That's
not
right.
what you've done in the past, but the last 5 years.
So what's the typical Social Security payout?
Well, it depends on what you're doing right now. I mean, mine's livable, but that's about it.
Like maybe $2 or $3 grand a month?
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
She's
I
not-
mean, I know people that's getting maybe $500 a month.
Okay.
I mean, how can you even live on $1,000 a month?
Especially now.
Yeah,
right.
I make $1,200 a month. Can you live on $1,200 a month?
According to data from the US government, the average monthly check given out by the Social Security Administration to retired Americans is around $1,800, which is far below the average monthly cost of living in America, which is about $5,100.
5,000. That. Whose monthly cost of living is that? 5,000. Is this for a whole household? Like 5,000.
Far below the average monthly cost of living in America,
Niggas don't even make that.
$5,100. For their entire life, the snapping grannies were sold the lie that after a lifetime of being a good worker, the government would finally take care of them after they retire. But the government did not. And now here they are, in their mid-70s, living beneath the poverty line, yet spending whatever disposable income they have left over to travel from Trump rally to Trump rally, promoting their rap songs, and complaining about immigrants on Facebook.
Like what?
$50,000 he's given to those
Exactly,
illegals.
Andrew, exactly.
We barely can make it on our Social Security.
But Social Security checks were the same under Trump as they are now, under Biden. So this begs the question, what the hell is going on? And who is exploiting their very valid grievances to make them think this way? You'd think that experiencing their condition would cause them to advocate for more
They're
expensive
brainwashed
social
or something
welfare
like
programs
that.
that take proper care of the
I don't get
elderly,
it.
veterans, the homeless, and people experiencing mental illness. But on the cusp of what could potentially be a shocking yet unifying revelation that two-party electoral politics exist primarily to subdue class consciousness, divide people into politicized consumer groups, and program Americans with the illusion of democracy, while maintaining and preserving power for the ruling class. They're psychologically manipulated by the media to channel their anger away from the
This is
system
exactly what I've been saying, bro. He exposing them.
who are propped
Thank you
up
for
by
saying this, bro.
conservative media as today's
All the people in the
but
comments are gonna be
tomorrow
sitting there and typing, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." Dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. Don't make comments on. They're brainwashed,
It'll be
bro.
something else. Like drag queens in Portland, shoplifters in San Francisco, Satanists in Massachusetts, overweight people on magazine covers, black Disney characters, and beyond. Whatever it takes to keep an even half of the American voting population completely infuriated about something that has absolutely no impact on their life is whatever the media will push. And it goes both ways. For example, at the trucker convoy rally, there were just as many mainstream journalists as there were patriots. And most of them, from what I could gather, are members of the mainstream Democrat press, who I assume are there to produce fear-mongering, Trump-bashing hit pieces for cable TV, which makes sense because the Democratic establishment needs a scapegoat too, and MAGA is perfect. But it all serves the machine, the three-headed snake of politicians, mainstream media outlets, and of course, the full-blown grifters who organize events like this one to sell t-shirts and drive donations to their website.
It sounds like maybe there's a world in which social
That one
security
lady,
can be made.
what's her name? Lee something. Leah, she's finessing. 1.7 mil. What you need 1.7 mil for? You don't need 1.7 mil for a mic and a stage, bro. You don't need
And you
that
can
much money
still
for
help migrants out, right? It doesn't have to be one or the other.
That isn't that. That isn't that. Because you know why? We all have to pull our own weight. And when you see them coming across that border, they don't have to have a passport. They have nothing. We have to be. I have to do a photo screen where they do your face recognition and all that. I have to have that passport. We got to have all kinds of identification, and we sure as heck got to have some money to pay for it.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're not paying it. And you're talking about the Social Security. I don't mind telling you. I do about probably $1,600 a month.
I wondered if everybody at the rally was just a retired person who can't afford milk or something. After all, the median age appeared to be between 50 and maybe 65, but that couldn't be the only perspective. So I began walking around by myself looking for somebody my age to maybe talk to. Very quickly, I located a young man who appeared to be an immigrant himself, wearing an
You can say I'm from Brazil, bro. That pissed me off.
shirt. So I figured I would talk to him.
Here in America, we only have Americans. We don't need to be a country dominated by foreign illegal immigrants that are being released from jail. We like immigrants, but we don't like criminals. So what are those people doing here? Well, they're coming to support another criminal, the biggest
So he just thinks they're all
criminal of
criminals,
the time,
which is
Joe Biden.
another bad
They're
take.
being used. They're being used as peons for communism. They're
You said what?
As peons.
Bro, literally most of the videos I've seen of immigrants, it'd be like young women and kids, bro. Like, it don't be that many. It don't be that many like men for real. Like it'd be men, but like it'd be mostly like kids and stuff.
As like some sort of tools for communism.
Oh, pawns, like on a chessboard.
Yeah, exactly, pawns. Under communism, Biden's regime.
For sure. Where are you from, man?
I'm from Brazil.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Why did your family immigrate to the U.S. in the first place?
Well, my family immigrated to America because Brazil had we can call a reset, a financial reset,
Yeah.
around 1990.
Yeah, the
when I
Great
was
Depression.
born. So they decided to come and visit and see if it would be a nice place. That's when I was born. And then they went back to Brazil, and that's where I was raised. So I grew up in Brazil, and now I'm back. But I always had patriotism towards America, even though growing up there.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
what?
think America
Why?
represents in comparison to somewhere like Brazil?
Well, America represents hope. America represents a nation that is a light to the world, a light of Christianity, a light of peace. With Trump.
Don't you feel like a lot of immigrants who come here
With
are
Trump.
trying to embrace that way of life?
Yes, but
So Trump is a light in his life and as peace. Donald Trump.
I'm talking
what?
about the ones
I think
that are
is a
coming
god.
legally. The ones that
I
are
think he's a
coming
demigod.
legally are
bro.
definitely being moved by the Democratic Party. They definitely are getting a lot of money. They definitely are bringing children that are kidnapped into the United States. They're bringing drugs, fentanyl. A lot of immigrants are coming to America and bringing fentanyl. They're trying to destroy America. America is infiltrated by communists.
Are they bringing it, or
transgender,
is the game members
communists
bringing it?
that are within our military ranks trying to dictate their agenda. And I'm not against anyone doing anything they want.
The conservative obsession with trans and non-binary people was strange to me, especially given the fact that it was a border rally. But still, it seemed to be their #1 issue, but it's not something I particularly want to give much airtime to. As I stated earlier, one of the goals of this shoot was to establish common ground and mutual understanding, not to help misled people spread hate. And one of the easiest common grounds I could find is that many migrants have been programmed with a false expectation of what their life will be like in America. But still, some people at the convoy believe that even if these migrants are honest people, looking for a better life and being deliberately misled, they're still criminals and should be treated as such.
This may not be a popular opinion, but I was talking to some friends about this the other day, and what they told me is, well, it's really not their fault because they're being misled, they're being told these things, and I said, wait a minute. It's kind of like if I go to
Yeah,
work and I do...
It is true though. The American dream is also propaganda to the outside world, which is funny because when I've been seeing a lot of like most of the other people in countries say that they hate Americans. So it's like propaganda that sometimes works outside, but like some people in America just think it's like the best shit ever. It was just,
decide my boss tells
not
me,
really
hey,
true.
you should steal. Well, if I'm stealing, I'm still guilty. These migrants coming over lying, saying, hey, I need asylum. If you ask them why they're coming over, they're coming for economic reasons, not for asylum at all. So they're lying and they're breaking our laws. So as far as I'm concerned, they are guilty criminals as well. Doesn't mean I don't have compassion for them, but I don't think anybody has a right to break our laws, and that's what they're doing. They're coming in because Biden said, hey,
Is that his
come on
glass,
in.
bro? He has his glasses on so much every day that he has a fucking print. Like, I literally wear glasses, and I don't have a print on the side of my head. Like, you don't never take them fucking black shades off, bro.
But they are
Jesus
no
Christ!
longer breaking our
Like
laws.
what?
They believe, yeah, we're coming over for a better life. They're still breaking our laws. So
I don't know.
hey,
Maybe
come
something
in
wrong with them.
legally.
Maybe
Sorry,
maybe
I
that's
don't
a
want
scar or
you. We
something.
are a nation of laws. So you can say, bring your, your poor,
Maybe that's
your
a scar or
whatever.
something.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
My
We're a
bad,
nation
bro.
of laws. You want to? My wife here, her parents from Pakistan.
Yeah.
They came over here the right way years ago.
How easy was it for your parents to immigrate here?
This being his wife is just funny to me. I don't know why.
Oh gosh, that was many years ago. Yeah. All I know is that my dad.
His wife is an bro. This is like, bro, what? Your wife is literally has an immigrant family, bro, and you're mad at.
Left when he was 19 and came over here, and the only time he went back was to marry my mother, and then it took about a year to get her paperwork ready to bring her over.
So it took about a year for the citizenship, like green card process to go through, right?
Yes, for her to come, yeah.
And then it took years to get your citizenship. I mean, I had a guy that I worked with several years ago that he had been in the process for a long time from India. Great guy.
Nah, that's not a scar, bro. That's an indent from his glasses, bro. It's on both sides.
That he was going to.
He just keep the nasty ass glasses on every day, bro. That's why his fucking. You see how dark his eyes is, bro? His eyes don't get no fucking sunlight.
That to what you have going on right now at our southern border.
He need to bring out the glasses, bro. Where they at?
Destroying our country.
Here we are. God's army has arrived in totality. We're supposed to be 70,000 divine soldiers. It's probably about 600. But they're here. They're taking the border back
70,000
by means of classic rock covers and t-shirt sales. Aside from being a mellow, chill Saturday afternoon vibe, there's a lot of Christian vibes going on because after all, this is God's army. They're saying that if God was here, he'd be here right now taking the freaking border back because this is a war between good versus evil. Good is the American tax-paying patriot. Evil is the migrants, the communists, the cartels, the Biden administration, the Epstein flight list, and everybody else. But I feel like they might not realize that Mexico is like 95%
Is that actually the
Catholic
list?
And everybody.
That shit scribbled and shit, bro. I thought they had been supposed to
But
drop
I feel like
that.
they might not realize that Mexico is like 95% Catholic, so it's possible that God's true army is in fact Mexicans. But hey, I didn't want to go there, but I guess I did. With the election coming up and stuff, I'm trying to give the conservative crowd more fair coverage overall. I think a lot of people, for some reason, especially because of the way that the HBO movie was produced, that I'm some type of like MAGA hater. And there's a lot of people online whose whole career and shtick is trying to make conservatives look as stupid as possible. And I think it's super counterproductive, and I think that it's led to a net negative in terms of mutual humanity and political understanding. So I hope that when you watch
Okay, I
this,
can agree
you
with
don't
that.
go away thinking,
I
damn,
mean,
these people are
if
so
somebody's
stupid,
saying
but you look
if somebody's saying some dumb shit though, they just saying some dumb shit. I mean, like, yeah, it causes a divide, but like they're not gonna change how they thinking. So you don't gotta necessarily change
underlying
the way your
motivations
ways.
and causes that are making them think this way. And one thing that we mentioned a lot about, we heard a lot about, is the lack of benefits for veterans, and also how thin those fucking social
Some of the
security
stuff,
checks are.
like, I agree with some of the stuff they said. Like I've said some of the same stuff that they said about like getting here the right way and stuff like that. But like, it's not Joe Biden's fault. Like it's really not. Like, you feel me? But I don't know.
Live on Social Security. I have to have something else coming in.
A lot of it does
24,000?
fall on the government not looking after its own people, which you think would actually
Yeah,
kind of
that's
shift
another
them further
that's another
along.
point. It's like there's so many homeless people here already that are veterans and like regular people. Is like, why are y'all helping out them over the people? Like, you should fix the problem you already have first before moving to a new problem. That's another point that I agree with. But
left and make them favor socialism and more beneficial social programs, but instead somehow the problem is migrants. I wonder that between the mainstream journalists here to make them look stupid, people selling parking passes and t-shirts and subscriptions to their conservative websites, and just lonely people who are just falling for the propaganda and the Kool-Aid of it all, I wonder if there's anyone outside that track.
what is going on, that grandma and say lonely? Maybe she's not
I don't
lonely.
think anyone here is like really that pissed off, but I do have this vision, like what would happen if like a bunch of migrants just like hopped the border right here and just like didn't realize they had picked the worst spot in the world. They just come out of the water, they like walk up, and they're just around all these people who have like seemingly never encountered one in their life, and they're just like, you're voting for Biden. I don't even think they can vote, but hey, I don't know. The vibes are good.
That's what I said. Like, none of these people have probably never even talked to a migrant or ever seen one.
I
So
think it's time to get the hell out of here, guys.
I think his wife was literally as a migrant family, what he's saying. But listen to what he was saying. You nigga think he's SpongeBob or something? The fuck? Rip my pants out of glass.
On the way out of town, we went to a gas station and ran into a bus full of Christians, pro-migrant Christians though, who apparently were sent by a non-profit from Minnesota called Vote Common Good. They told us they'd just been kicked out of the rally by the truckers, but still were down to give us an interview. And I figured it'd be good to get a different Christian perspective on this issue.
My name is Doug Paget, and I'm the executive director of this group called Vote Common Good. I'm an evangelical
Why you say it so
pastor
fast?
that thinks faith, open love should create a democracy open to all, and we have to resist Christian nationalism. And this trucker brigade is coming in here telling a bunch of slanderous lies about the border and migrants.
What do you think are the main lies being told by the truckers?
And they're saying there's an invasion. There's not an invasion. There are people seeking legal entrance into the country.
These people are legally applying for asylum. It's a Geneva Convention right.
They're telling us that they're bringing in drugs. Less than 0.02% of fentanyl comes from people that are migrants coming in the country. It's coming through buses and trucks and boats and airplanes. They're telling us that their job...
Where'd he get that percentage from? Is it less than 2%? Where'd he get that percentage?
...to be Christians who are the militia to protect this country. We don't need them to be protecting us from anything. We need to be protected from any Christian who thinks that they should be taking up arms to protect the southern border or northern border of this country.
What do you think Jesus would do in this given situation?
Well, I think likely Jesus would be on the other side of that border, the immigrants. First of all, that there's other Americans who disagree with that, and there's other Christians that disagree with it. And often what happens is we get in this battle where we say to people, you need to be quiet so I can talk. We don't want anyone to be quiet. We want everyone to speak up.
Yeah.
If they've got something to say, they should say it. And everybody else who has something to say, they should say it. But the solution is not more hate. The solution is more engagement.
Channel 5 Live will.
He was on next at the end of the video. I let him get his little speech off because he wasn't playing no games. You know what I'm saying? He tried to teach everybody a lesson right there. I ain't gonna lie.